The Shooter Shack. Welcome to the Shooter Shack. I shoot at like 80%. Where the hell they do that at? Where the hell they do that at? Welcome to the Shooter Shack. The Shooter Shack. I help you make your money back. Like where they do that at? I shoot 80%. Every Sunday with the kid. I'll make your money back. I shoot 80%. Every Sunday with the kid. Like where they do that at?
Welcome back to the Shooter Shack. It's Pat Gregoire with none other than Brett McConaughey, aka the Shooter, the best NFL handicapper in the entire world, sitting at a 52-19-1 record. There isn't anyone better in the world at picking NFL games, and it's a time of year where the Visa might be fighting it a little bit. Well, what better way to put life back into your credit card than jumping on the Shooter's back?
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself, Patty. You still got some debt lingering? You still paying off those student loans from 15 years ago? Well, listen here. I'm going to give you an opportunity to clean up that mess you made. With the Shooter 6, week after week, I'm getting it done. 52-19-1, just like Patty said, the number one NFL handicapper in the world today. Thank you guys for tuning in and joining us down here in the Shooter Shack. We're going to have another week. So, Patty, why don't we get this thing rolling with the Shooter 6?
All right, game number one. You've got the Thursday nighter. It's the New York Giants sitting at 10-4, heading up to Philadelphia to take on the 5-9 Eagles. Shooter, where are we putting our coin in this one?
Well, Patty, I'm going to tell you where the coin's going, but before, let me break it down for you. The Giants, they still have an opportunity to win the NFC East Division with a big win over the Eagles and a potential Cowboys loss to the Lions. The Giants are 6-1-1 in their last 8 games as a favorite of 3 points or less. They're also 8-1 straight up and 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 games. Then you got the Eagles. They've been choking on the salty truth for most of this season. They're 1-4 against the spread and 0-5 straight up in their last 6. But divisional games are tough, so expect this game to be a little bit closer than it may look on paper. But with the holidays coming, I'm going to slap a heavy bird, preferably a turkey, right into the oven. And I'm going to season it just right, the way old Jolly St. Nick loves it. And then I'm going to take that bird right out of the oven, and I'm going to serve it with all the fixings. Cranberries, yams, the whole 9. But in this football game, I'm going to serve the Philadelphia Eagles because I'm buying myself a half a point, and I'm taking the New York Football Giants at minus 1.5.
All right, game number 2, it's an NFC North showdown. On Christmas Eve, you got the Minnesota Vikings sitting at 7-7, heading to Lambeau Field to take on the red-hot 8-6 Green Bay Packers. And Shooter, I've got to ask, where are we stuffing our stockings on this one?
Well, Patty, the stocking's going to be long, and the stocking's going to be heavy. But this is the Knuckle Hockey Pick of the Week. Check out their swag and their apparel at knucklehockey.ca. But this could be the undercover game of the week. 2 divisional rivals that are hoping to make the playoffs, and they're squaring off. And the Vikings have absolutely struggled in Lambeau Field. We talked about it in the green room before the show, and they've struggled recently. They are 2-7 straight up and 3-6 against the spread in their last 9 games. And then you got Green Bay. They're red hot. They have won 4 straight games, and they are 11-3 in their last 14 games on a Saturday. So for all my cheesehead fans, I'm going to make something special for you guys this week. There is nothing tastier on Christmas Eve than pulling out a whole loaf of whole wheat bread and a fresh slab of Monterey Jack cheese, a bottle of Dijon mustard, and don't forget about the 9-ounce pack of thinly sliced ham. And you slap this little sandy together, and I like to call it the Monte Crisco sandwich. It's the one you want, and it's the one you need. But let me tell you, it's a treat. But in this football game, after you get that sandy down in the barrel, you're going to buy a 1.5, and you're jumping on board with the Packers at minus 4.5.
All right, game number 3, it's a Christmas Day AFC West showdown between the Denver Broncos at 8-6. They're heading to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs, who are 10-4.
Well, it has been an ugly stretch of games for the Broncos. They have absolutely struggled, and a loss to the Chiefs will pretty much end their playoff hopes for the defending Super Bowl champion. Denver is 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games in the division, and they've only scored 16 points in their last 2 games. Then you got KC. They are 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 and 8-2 straight up in their last 10 games. And they have quietly been one of the best teams in the NFL for the past couple seasons, and they're looking to punch their ticket to the playoffs. But when it comes to barrels, there's not a coach in the league that can feed like Andy Reid. So I'm going to tell you what's happening on Saturday night. I'm pulling out the bag of mixed noodles, peas, and a can of cream of mushroom soup. And don't forget about that whole onion just to get that stench coming off of Andy Reid's nose garden. And do not forget about the can of tuna for this casserole, because we're dunking it into the oven at 425 degrees. And on Christmas night, I am partying with the red and the white. I am taking the Kansas City Chiefs at -3. Well, there you have it right there. We got 3 down and we got 3 to go. And Patty, what time is it?
It's the shooter field goal. All right, next we've got the Tennessee Titans putting together a nice season at 8-6, taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars at 2-11.
Well, Mariota is having quite the season, and those lonely Tennessee Titans that nobody ever gives any love to, they have an opportunity to make the playoffs. So I'm keeping my chips in play with them. I got the Titans at -4.
It's another big divisional matchup. You got the Baltimore Ravens at 8-6, visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers with a 9-5 record.
Well, Patty, when it comes to the month of December and when the games matter the most, there is not a better team than the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm buying myself a 1.5, and I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers at -3.
All right, last pick, it's the Washington Redskins at 7-6-1. They're visiting the Chicago Bears with a 3-11 record.
Well, after that embarrassing performance on the Monday Nighter, we chatted about it earlier, and the Skins are going to have to win out, and they're going to need a lot of help if they want to sneak into the playoffs. But I'm going to jump on Captain Kirk and the Redskins, and I'm going to take them at -2.5.
All right, there's your Shooter 6 for week number 16. You see the buckets on the sidelines. Consider that your Christmas gift from old Uncle Shooter here. He's giving out more free gifts than old St. Nick himself. Now get those lines in early and often, because we know the wise guys, they're going to change those lines. Now, Shooter, before we take off for the holidays, you got something to say.
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody that's been watching the Shooter Shack. I want to thank the wise guys, and I want to thank all of our sponsors. First things first, I want to thank Wilkins. He is the best barber in the GTA, and when it comes to the one you want with the clippers and keeping the beard fresh, he's the one you gotta have. So shout out to Wilkins. I want to thank the Royal Oak Whippy North at Garden and Taunton for always being a big supporter of the Shooter and the Shooter Shack. They got great drink specials, amazing food, and the staff is just delightful. I want to thank our sponsors at mycustomsportschair.ca. They have an absolutely wonderful product, and when you go on the website, you check it out, and you use the discount code SHOOTER for free shipping anywhere in North America. Knuckle Hockey, they are the #1 brand in hockey apparel in the world. Check out their website at knucklehockey.ca and use the promo code SHOOTER for a 10% discount off all items. And finally, our good friends down at JC Storage Solutions. They solve all your storage needs. They supply, deliver, install, and engineer all industrial pallet racking and steel shelving systems. Give them a shout at 416-565-1196. But guys, I can't thank you enough. Patty, once again, it's always a pleasure having you down here in the Shooter Shack. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel at the bottom of the page and follow us on all the social media platforms. Make sure you go ahead and do that. I want to wish you, on behalf of me and Patty, nothing but a happy holidays and a very Merry Christmas, and we'll see you guys next week.